Welcome to the Tradies in Business podcast with your hosts Warwick Bidwell and Nicole Cox. Divert your phone and grab a brew as Waz and Nick unpack tips, tales, secrets and stuff-ups from guests both inside and outside your trade, helping educate and inspire you to break the cycle of gut-busting and money stress and create a true trade business.
Hey, Warwick.
Hey, Coxie.
World's a little crazy right now.
What are you talking about?
My own world's right here in my office. It's crazy right now.
Well, your hair doesn't look that bad, Coxie.
Thank you. This thing on my nose is getting a bit out of control.
You'll have to tell your dog to stop licking you on the nose.
That just sounds feral. It is not from my dog licking on my nose.
This is what happens when you say to me, just press record and we'll record something. And I'm feeling a bit lost.
I that's probably why I just wanted to hit record. I probably wanted to share that sometimes we feel really lost too. We just feel a little fatigued and lost and like we have little control or little influence over what's going on. And so I actually thought that might be a great thing to share with our listeners. I hope that they understand they're not alone and they're not the only ones feeling angry, lost, confused, overwhelmed, frustrated. Any of those feelings, I think they're quite normal at the moment in a world that is just bonkers.
Yeah, it's interesting when I think about people listening to this episode. I generally record our episodes trying to picture our listeners, which is really difficult because I don't know what any of you look like. I know some of you. I know some of our clients listen, and we've had the opportunity to chat to a few people that listen to the podcast. But largely, I'm just imagining who might be listening and what situation you're in. You know, are you sitting in your ute somewhere? Are you stuck in lockdown at home? Are the kids screaming in the background? Have you got your noise cancelling headphones and you're hiding in the toilet? I try and imagine the people out there listening to us. And so I feel a sense of responsibility when we record this podcast every time to deliver value and to not unduly negatively impact anybody. I want to help people stay positive and focused and all the things that we stand for here at Tradies in Business. And some days we sit here and it's like, what are we going to talk about? I think, I don't know. I've got nothing.
I think the reality is, though, when we're in positions of influence, which we are to some extent, we share our thoughts quite frequently. Well, every day at the moment on the podcast, but certainly as content creators, we share them frequently everywhere, whether it be online, the spoken word through the podcast with our members. It can be tempting to think, probably like the highlight reel on social media, that we're upbeat and energetic and full of positivity all the time. And that's just BS. And exactly why I probably wanted to share today that we don't always feel that way. We also feel frustrated. I'm struggling to see the way clear of anything but uncertainty again for the rest of this year. And I'm trying really hard, as are you, Warwick, to find solutions for our members, solutions for you as the listener on a frequent basis so that we can continue to focus on the positive. And yet sometimes I can't see the wood for the trees. I also feel exhausted and overwhelmed and very bloody sad and very frustrated or very angry or the whole magnitude of different feelings trying to understand where we are on any given moment of any given day because stuff is changing just that quickly right now.
No, absolutely. I mean, making plans for the future used to be difficult. We couldn't really sit down and think about the next 5 years and put together a 5-year plan. That's always been challenging for people in business and in life in general. It's like, what are you going to be doing in 10 years' time? I was like, I don't know. Well, have a think about it, make some goals. Okay, I guess, I don't know, maybe take a holiday, pay off the house, buy a jet ski, take the kids to the zoo. I don't know, make some goals. Now, we can't even plan for next week. And, you and I are looking at investing in our business right now so we can help more people and get the message out to more people. And I literally sat there this morning and thought, should we be doing this? Like, is the world going to even look like this next week? I just don't know. And I'm sorry to anybody who's perhaps already feeling overwhelmed and struggling with those thoughts of your own right now. And I would just reach out to you via the AirPods or your headphones or whatever and say, hey, we feel the same way, just as Nic's languaged. Some days I sit here and I think, what the hell am I even doing? What am I doing here? Am I making a difference? And that's not a cry for people to give me positive feedback. It's just to let you know that I guess I feel lost and confused and frustrated and trapped sometimes too.
We don't talk about politics much, and I'm not going to today. I would, though, really, I would really like to share that I would not be a politician for love or money. If we feel confused and lost, imagine feeling confused and lost with the weight of the entire country on your shoulders, or the weight of the state or your locality on your shoulders. That must be such a confronting time. And I'm sure it could be tempting for us to take them on face value and assume that there's a certain level of arrogance around some of those decisions. And perhaps there is. I'm certainly not denying that there could be. And I think right now, just like I would encourage you to do in every other part of your life, it would be just to maybe stop and think about how challenging this is for everybody. It's not just ourselves. It's not just employees. It's not business owners. It's not just children. It's not just politicians. It's not just any other sector within the community. I think it's everybody. I believe everybody is really finding this a very challenging time without having the opportunity to have the crystal ball and the foresight about what's going to happen next. So this is probably a bit of a Debbie Downer episode, and it's actually just meant hopefully to give you a little bit of, I don't know, a warm cuddle and an understanding that you're not alone. If you're feeling this way or you have felt this way, we have all and do all have moments of all of those feelings that I've said about 5 times already, so I'm not going to say them again.
Well, I would like to add that you're not alone. I don't identify with the whole we're all in this together thing, because we're not.
No, we're not.
Different sectors of the community are experiencing different levels of impact from this whole thing. I feel very fortunate in so many ways, but you can always find someone who's worse off than you, and you can always find someone who's better off than you. Yes, you so to say we're all in it together is a crock, as far as I'm concerned. That's my personal opinion, not the professional opinion of this show. And all we can do, many of us, is just focus on today. Just this afternoon or this morning or the next 2 hours. I think a lot of us need to make our forward view much shorter than we've been used to making it. Lots of us are probably thinking about what's coming up next week. It's Wednesday. For many of you listening to this, ordinarily you'd be thinking, what do I got on for the next 2 days? What do I have to get through before Friday afternoon? And then have I got any workbook for Monday? And you check the calendar quickly, and you probably make a few calls, and you're planning out what you can get done over the weekend. I think even that is becoming difficult to stick with, and that it's literally becoming a bit of just right now focus. What can I do right now? Maybe I should turn my phone off right now. Maybe I should stop scrolling right now, because right now I just need a damn break. And perhaps I can go do something that feels like I've achieved something. Maybe I can get an invoice out, because that's at least something. And try that at least something approach.
I think there's a handy tool, and I never intended this to come around to a teaching point, and yet, of course, there always is one. There's a handy tool in the member site for our members, the Daily Focus Journal. If you're not using it on a day-to-day basis, now is a good time to use it. I have not used it for the last week or so. I need to get back on board to using it myself. It's just a great way to bring you back to the here and now. What is it that I need to focus on today? Who can I positively influence today? How can I move forward and make some change today? Not necessarily 3 months, 6 months, 12 months down the track, just today. So I encourage you, if you don't have access to a Daily Focus Journal, to maybe make a list of three things that you can do today. One thing that you need to do, one person that you can influence, and maybe one thing that you're grateful for today. Just to maybe change your headspace, give you a bit of perspective, and secure you into or embed you into the right now rather than thinking too far ahead, because it just feels a bit iffy out there with the too far ahead.
Very Coxie. Well, if you do want to chat to us at all, we are always available, even on our flat days. We're always here for our listeners and our clients, of course. So you can find us on all the social media channels. You can join our group and chat to other trade business owners who are going through similar versions, perhaps even different versions of what you're experiencing right now. So head on over to good old Face Google Book and you can join the Tradies in Business group there for free. If you're a genuine tradie, we'll let you in. And you can chat to other people who are, maybe today they're doing better than you and perhaps they can help lift you up. And maybe tomorrow you'll be doing better than someone else and you can help carry them through their shit day as well. So do reach out to us. We love to hear from you and we'll be back in your ears, perhaps with a bit more vim and vigor tomorrow, but who knows? We might even cancel the show overnight. You just never know these days.
That is not going to happen.
What would we do then, Coxie?
I don't know. Nobody would. Who's going to listen to us talk about rubbish if we don't have a show to put to air every day?
Our pets. That's what pets are for.
Well, yes. Shelby does sit in the office all day long listening to us waffle on.
Dear, oh dear. Look, thanks for listening and take care wherever you are.
Take care.
You've been listening to the Tradies in Business podcast with Warwick Bidwell and Nicole Cox. Find out more about today's guest, tools for your trade business and other cool stuff at tradiesinbusiness.com.au.